So if you found yourself saying, I'm miserable at work, I'm exhausted all the time, and I just want to quit. All valid feelings. But is there something more specific going on? By the end of this video, you'll have a simple way to collect meaningful information about your work over the next 2 weeks. So when you ask questions like, why am I so miserable? You're answering them with evidence instead of one overwhelming feeling. Hi, I'm Krystal. I have spent a long ass time working. And one thing that I've learned is that work has a funny way of just kind of taking over more of your life than you ever intended. Not usually all at once. Just a little here, a little there. You stay late one evening because something has to get done. You answer one email after dinner. You skip lunch because you're busy and you want to get caught up. And before long, work isn't just something you do anymore. It's following you home. It's stealing your evenings. It shows up in your weekends. And somehow it's convincing you that this is just what adulthood looks like. Around here, that's the conversation that we're having. It's not how to become a better employee. That's on you. And it's not even how to love every minute of your job. The intent is, how do we build a healthier relationship with work so that work supports your life instead of consuming it? And sometimes that starts with getting the hell out of there and changing to a new job. And sometimes it's just about changing your boundaries. But I think sometimes it starts by admitting that you don't actually know what's making you miserable. I mean, the job, but it's too broad. We need to hone in a little bit. Does she keep walking by? This is my crazy cat. When most of us are exhausted, we reach for the biggest explanation we can find. I have too much work. My boss is impossible, putting it nicely. This whole job just sucks. I'm really trying not to swear here as well. Maybe, right? Every one of those could be true. But they're also giant answers to giant questions. They're so big that it's hard to know what to do with them. Imagine if you went to the doctor and said, everything hurts. Okay, well, where? When? How often? What were you doing when this started happening? And did it start suddenly or did it build over time? Those questions aren't because the doctor doesn't believe you. They're because everything hurts isn't enough information to understand what's actually happening. I think work is often the same. When we're overwhelmed, all the individual pieces, they blur together. The interruptions, the deadlines, the meetings, the people, the work that we enjoy, and even the work that we dread. And there's the work we volunteered for. That work that somebody just handed us because they knew we'd get it done. And eventually all of that, it just becomes one giant miserable blob. And here's the problem with giant miserable blobs. You can't investigate them. You can't ask good questions about them. You can't tell what's changing and what isn't. And you really can't make a thoughtful decision from them. Whether that's setting better boundaries, talking to your manager, looking for another job, or realizing that maybe this isn't about work at all. If everything feels equally awful, then everything starts looking like that's the problem. That's why this video isn't about solving your work life. It's about giving yourself enough information to understand it, because I don't think anyone should make a life-changing decision from one overwhelming feeling if they don't have to. So here's the experiment. For the next 2 weeks, I want you to become an observer of your own workday. That's it. It's not for you to prove to yourself or anyone else that you've been working hard enough. And this is definitely not something that you're creating for your boss. And don't tell them you're doing it either. Oh my gosh. You don't want it to be another thing that they expect of you. This information, this experiment, it belongs to you. You're collecting it because you're trying to understand your own experience. Use whatever you're going to actually stick with and be able to find every day. For me, it's spreadsheets. So if spreadsheets is what makes your little organizational heart happy, use it. The tool isn't important, the habit is. And the moment that you start thinking, I should probably build a beautiful tracker with like 14 tabs and color coding, and maybe I could, no, stop. Because the goal is not to build a tracking system. The goal is to notice your work before your memory edits it. And it's only for 2 weeks. Chill out. And a couple of tips around this too. Don't wait until the end of the day, because that's the part, I think, that trips people up. You get home, you make dinner, you answer a few texts, and you watch a little TV, and then right before bed you think, oh, yeah, whoops, I was supposed to remember everything that happened today. Yeah, good luck with that. Do it now. Some of you might be a little bit better, but I know that my brain does not work like security camera footage. It remembers the really good moments and the really bad moments, and then it fills in the gaps with whatever story feels right. And we want to work with a little bit more accuracy. So instead, keep it handy throughout your workday. This is the way it makes the most sense to do it for what you're trying to track. Write out hourly, 8 to 5. And for each hour, just know what you're working on. If you're in a 3-hour meeting, then just make that block meeting from hell or whatever. And if multiple things happen through that hour that you want to know, do that too. But at a minimum, track like each hour for multiple reasons, and we'll get into that in a second. You don't have to track every email or Teams message or the time of the day that you actually got to take a bathroom break. We're looking for moments that tell us something about your experience. Maybe you switched to an important project you've been looking forward to. Maybe your boss dropped something unexpected on your desk in the middle of the other 25 things you're trying to get done. Maybe someone asks for help for the same thing again. And maybe you finally finish something and realize that, wow, I really like doing that. Those are the kind of moments that we want to capture, because later those moments become your patterns. If you want to write more details to help you remember, that is on you. I would argue that shorter is better. Something as simple as 10:20 a.m. asked to fix Sarah's report again, irritated. Or 2:15 a.m. 2:15 a.m.? 2:15 maybe. 2:15 p.m. solved inventory issue. Challenging but fun. That's enough. If you want to add where that work came from, that's even better. Was it a part of your normal responsibilities? Did your manager just ask you to do it? Or did you just somehow inherit it because nobody else wanted it? Those little details might not feel very important in the moment, but 2 weeks later when you're looking through the list, they could explain a lot. This is the Sherlock Work Initiative. I like that. One thing that I would pay particular attention to is interruptions. And it's not because interruptions are automatically bad, especially if we're in the office, right? There's always stuff going on, and I'm like very easily distracted. So with all the buzz around and stuff like that, people whizzing by a lot, zoom, it happens. And some jobs are built around responding to people. If you're in customer service, operations, leadership, IT support, being interrupted is part of the job. The question isn't whether interruptions exist, it's what they're doing to your day. Have you ever had one of those afternoons where you swear you've been working the whole time since you came in, but somehow you never finished anything? You start one task, someone messages you, you answer, you come back, the phone rings, back again, meeting reminder, quick question, another email, another, this will only take a minute. And by 5 o'clock, you've been busy all day. And the thing you sat down to do at 1 o'clock is still open on your screen. That's worth noticing. Again, it's not because interruptions are evil, but constantly restarting your brain takes energy. This whole multitasking thing, don't even get me started. Sometimes it's not even the work that's exhausting you. It's never getting to stay with the work long enough to think, to finish it, to get to a stopping point. I would also pay attention to what follows you home, because work doesn't always stop when you leave work, right? Am I right? You're in the middle of making some dinner and mentally rewriting an email, or you're watching a movie and suddenly remembering something that you forgot. And maybe you're lying in bed rehearsing tomorrow's meeting instead of trying to rest, get some dang sleep. And all of that stuff is worth noting. If work is still taking your attention after you stopped getting paid, that's part of your experience too. And again, we're not, in this 2-week boundary, we're not analyzing it. We're just writing it down. What happened? What were you thinking about? Did something trigger it? You're simply collecting observations. We're researching here. We're sleuthing. For these 2 weeks, think of yourself like a detective gathering your work evidence. Detective does not decide who committed the crime halfway through collecting fingerprints. You might have ideas, but they're gathering the evidence first. The conclusions come later, and that's what we're doing here. And during these 2 weeks, if you miss something during the day, don't worry about it. Don't sweat it. It's fine. You're not getting graded. It's all gravy. 2 weeks is a good chunk of time. At the end of the day, spend maybe 2 minutes asking yourself 3 questions. What did I forget to capture? What followed me home? What surprised me today? And that's it. It's one last sweep while the day is still reasonably fresh in the brain. Not for details, but just an overall vibe. Because remember, the goal is not to perfectly document your workday. The goal is to give future you enough information that 2 weeks from now, you aren't relying on memory alone and just misery blob. You can now have something much more useful. You've got your own observations, a 2-week detective research project. Here's the part that I do not want you to do. Don't start looking for answers. I know that's tempting. About 4 days in, you're checking things out. You're probably going to think, okay, I know exactly what the problem is. Maybe you do. Maybe you don't. Either way, keep collecting. 2 weeks. One bad Monday doesn't tell you much. One great Friday doesn't either. We're trying to understand your work life, not one random day. And that's why I like to keep 2 weeks. It's a long enough period for patterns to start showing up. When those 2 weeks are over, that's when you're going to sit down with everything that you've collected. And this is not to judge yourself or count how many productive hours you think you've had. And it is not to figure out whether you should be employee of the month. We don't care about that stuff. You're going to start asking some questions. Questions that you probably couldn't answer honestly before because everything felt mixed together. But now after the 2 weeks, you can ask questions like, what keeps showing up over and over again? And what consistently drains me? Who's generating most of my unexpected work? And what keeps stealing my lunch or my evenings? So notice what's different about each of those questions. They're no longer guesses. They're questions that you can ask because you've actually been paying attention. One of the things that I love about this exercise is that it gives you permission to be surprised. Maybe you discover that the meetings aren't the problem. It's the fact that every meeting creates 3 hours of follow-up work. Or maybe you discover that your manager isn't actually the douche that you thought he was. It's that you're volunteering for everything because you hate disappointing people. Maybe. But maybe you discover that the work you assumed that you hated is actually part of your day that you enjoy the most. And it's everything surrounding it that's exhausting you. I don't know what you'll find, and neither do you. That's exactly why we're collecting the information before we start drawing conclusions. Because those assumptions are loud. Evidence is usually quieter, but it's also a lot more useful. And that actually is what we're really building. It's not a productivity report or a complaint log. It's a picture. It's a picture that's detailed enough that you can finally stop saying, everything is awful, I hate it. And instead you can start saying, here's what my work actually looks like. That's a very different conversation, and that's what this exercise gives you. It's not answers or a diagnosis. It's not even, you don't need it from me, but it's not actually permission to quit your job on Tuesday because you had a terrible meeting. This gives you something much more valuable. It's giving you reality of the situation. Instead of trying to remember 2 exhausting weeks from memory, you'll have your own observations sitting in front of you. You'll know what happened, what kept repeating, and you can decide what deserves a closer look. And this will be the foundation for the next conversation. In the next video, we're going to take everything that you've collected and start asking what those patterns actually mean. Are you burnt out? Are you bored? Are you carrying work that was never yours? Has your relationship with work changed over the years? All questions that are worth answering, but not before you've collected the information. You don't have to figure out your entire work life today. You just need to stop guessing long enough to see what's really there. What do you think you're going to discover? I'm so nosy. I love this stuff. I'm curious to see how many of us are surprised once we stop treating work like it's just one giant miserable blur.